Hey guys, welcome back to Lafferty Gardens and Grow with Laffo. I'm Mercedes, and today we're going to be talking about soil and in particular pH. So pH is the potential of hydrogen ions in a water-based solution. Obviously soil isn't a water-based solution, and that's why we have the tests which add liquid to the soil to make a water-based solution. But the pH scale is basically testing for your acidity and alkalinity of your soil. Now I'm going to pop a scale up here. Now right bang smack in the middle we've got a water, which is a neutral. Granted that some water can sit more down the acidic lane if it's contaminated, by pure lovely water sits right bang in the middle at 7. Any point from there up or down is 10 times more than the previous. So 6 is 10 times more acidic than water. 5 is 100 times more acidic than water. 4 is 1,000 times, then 10,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million times more acidic than water, and the same on this end. So things right down the end of the acidic scale, such as battery acid, are going to be 10 million times more acidic than water. And at this end, we've got drain cleaner and bleach, which could be 10 million times more alkaline than water. Now, obviously, nothing's going to grow down either ends of these scales, and we want to plant our plants within a soil that's around here. So our optimum soil is between about a 6 and a 7.5. And the reason this is optimum is because it unlocks all of the nutrients that a plant requires to survive and thrive. If you have more acidic soil, it locks up major nutrients, and that can lead to a major nutrient deficiency. Things like your potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur, and this is why it's very common to see vegetable growers or farmers add in NPKs, that's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, back into the soil because they have quite acidic soil. At the other end, if you have quite alkaline soil, it locks up our trace elements, and that's when you have a trace element nutrients. Now these nutrients aren't as important, but they're still very important if you want those really nice nutrient based food products that will give the nutrients back to you, which I love about home growing vegetables. Now right in the middle, as I mentioned, we've got all of our nutrients unlocked. The funny thing is, more plants will grow happily in acidic soil than they do in alkaline soil. Now some plants are very particular in what they desire. Some plants might have a larger range, such as lavender, which can do well between a 5.5 and an 8. However, the majority of plants are much smaller range. And if you learn how to do your pH test, you're going to be able to plant the plants in the area that suits them, or you can potentially pot them up in a pot with that specific soil mixture. Things like lawns can do well between 5.5 and a 7. Roses more on that 6.5 to a 7, so getting a bit smaller. Vegetables, again, that's 6.5 to a 7. But there are some plants like blueberries, for example, which everyone kills because they don't check their pHs. They require between a 4.5 and a 5.5, which is very hard to find if you're just planting in the ground. So a lot of the times you will have to bring in soil or potting mix and put them in a pot. I'll teach you how to increase and decrease your pH at the end of this video, but I'm going to do some pH testing now on my own soil. We've got our vegetable soil here, fruit tree soil actually, that I've got off the swale in the green. Then in the black we've got some soil down from my native area, which I just spilled everywhere. And then this is from my rose garden, so we'll see what they are. And I haven't done these today, so I don't actually know what they come up as. And I use this pot here. It's probably the most common kit that you'll find. And what it just comes with is a liquid, a powder, your pH chart, which gives you colours, and a little stirry stick, and it comes with a plate, but I'll just be using my own. And I'll just move the camera now so you can see. And welcome back. Now, of course, the kits do always have instructions if you don't remember what to do. But first, let's put on our gloves. This stuff can be quite irritant, and you should never handle any organics without gloves. So let's chuck these on. Now, you want to smoosh your soil up so it's nice and fine and powdery. Remove any rocks and plant debris such as roots that you might have picked up. And you get about, I should have smooshed this up earlier, about half a teaspoon. So we got our vegetables there. Then this is the native area. And my garden, like being 4 acres, it's very different in lots of different areas, and the texture is very different too. So I have very sandy areas and stony areas, very, very high organic areas. I have some which used to be a fire pit, so it's got lots of charcoal in. And then I've obviously got a lot of eucalypts and pines around, which can increase the acidity as well. So we've got our soil, and we're just going to smoosh it up as much as you can. Get out the lumps and bumps and the plant debris. Then we're going to take our liquid dye indicator. I'll give it a quick shake. Put a few drops, enough to just mix it in with the soil. Let's go 3. See how we go. 3. Actually, I'm going to do 4. 4 or 5. I lied. Get our little stirrer stick. I normally would just like find a stick or something. I need a bit more. A bit more. Well, that's actually like quite a solid squirt. So a solid squirt. Quite sandy, so pretty interesting. Then we take our powder, squirt it over the top. And you should see the colour change almost instantly, but we're going to wait about 30 seconds to a minute. And wow, they're so different. Okay. Oh wow, that's crazy. The natives are so much more acidic. So I'm just going to bring you in. Alright, and it's pretty cool. We have quite different. You can see how different that is to that. And this is probably quite similar to the first one. So we can bring our color chart up now and just compare them. And I have got a flash on. Now, this looks a lot greener than it does in my camera, but it will probably sit around a 7 to a 7.5, so somewhere in the middle of those guys. And that's with my vegetable bed. Or the swales. I keep saying vegetable bed. It's not my vegetable bed. It's where my fruit trees are. And then on this side, which my rose gardens is around a 7 to a 7.5 as well. It is more 7 in person, but it looks more grey on the picture. And I had to do this for university, and the picture kept coming up as very grey. And I had to explain to them that my camera was just not on point. But this one you can see is a lot more yellow than the other two. The other two are blue-green. This is more of that green-yellow, and I'll just try and bring this down. And I'd say it's like that 6. I wouldn't go as dark as a 6.5, so it'd probably be around a 6. Even maybe like a 5.75 or somewhere in the middle of those two. So that's pretty cool. And this is my natives. So natives do thrive in a more acidic area. And this is right under a eucalypt tree, so that doesn't really surprise me at all, as eucalypts do make the soil more acidic. Now, plants like the hydrangeas are really cool because they actually change colour depending on what the soil is. If you have a hydrangea with blue flowers, this indicates an acidic soil, whereas a hydrangea with pink flowers, that will show you that you have more alkaline to neutral soil. So Australian gardens will naturally have quite an acidic soil. If you have anything between a 5.5 to a 7, don't stress about it. But if you have quite, like that 4.5, very acidic soil, which can be quite common on newly built houses, and you want to increase your pH to more of a neutral range, you can add a sulfur.
I messed up. This is meant to say add lime, like a dolomite lime product,
much will bring that
not sulfur.
Level up. You can just add, what we do is just bulk add in organic matter. That's going to help your soil structure and all your microbes in your soil as well. So organic matter, just pop that on your soil, mix it in, turn it in, and it will naturally bring that soil back up. On the other hand, if you have more alkaline soil, it's a lot harder to bring alkaline soil back to neutral than it is to bring acidic soil up to neutral. So I'm really sorry if you have this end of the soil and it's anything about 7.5, because it's quite hard, and even to get it from a 7.5 down to a 7 can be quite hard. But anything with lime,
and this is the part that's meant to say sulfur and sulfuric acid,
compost,
not dolomite lime.
That back down. Well, that's all for today, folks. I hope you've learned the importance of pH and you can confidently go out and do your own pH testing. Maybe we can prevent some plant deaths and save you guys some money. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.